Did you know Pete Davidson cameoed in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Yeah, he played this guy. Anyways, hi and welcome to the Zobo Show. Today I will be comparing Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. A little DC versus Marvel action, if you will. There will be spoilers for both, so be warned. Now hit that subscribe button and I will get right into it. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the second Shazam movie. It got 49% on Rotten Tomatoes as opposed to the first Shazam movie's 90%. So that's a bit of a steep decline there. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 got 82%, which is very similar to what the second one got, and the first one actually got 92%, so good for them. Shazam stars Zachary Levi, who I love, and Lucy Liu, also love, and Helen Mirren. The plot is kind of all over the place. There's barely any character development, and a lot of the lines are just cheap grabs for laughs. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 stars Chris Pratt. There are also some other big names, and it actually really surprised me. As the third movie in a superhero trilogy, I did not have very high expectations, but it did not let down. The plot is straightforward and it works. There is actually an astonishing amount of character development for Rocket Raccoon out of all characters, and some of the other characters also have good character development. Of course, the soundtrack is banger because it's Guardians of the Galaxy. The plot of Shazam is that when Shazam broke that staff in half in the first movie, he actually broke the barrier between the human realm and the god realm. So now Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren, and their other sister are back with a vengeance. They gotta steal this apple and then plant it to like renew their realm. Helen Mirren wants to plant it in the right place so that it like not on Earth. And then Lucy Liu wants to plant it on Earth, but if you plant the apple on Earth, there are gonna be monsters everywhere. I mean, look at all these monsters. It felt like this could have been solved with a conversation. They could have just been like, hey, Shazam, can I have that apple? And he's kind of dumb, which we'll get to later. So he would have just given it to them. It's like, you didn't have to come and kill everyone. And then the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy, it seems chaotic, but it's actually very straightforward. They just want to save Rocket Raccoon. The movie starts off with a gold-painted Will Poulter coming in, trying to kidnap Rocket, almost killing him. The team can't save him because he has a kill switch on his heart, so they have to hunt down the High Evolutionary who created Rocket Raccoon and figure out how to turn off the kill switch. They're just trying to save their friend, alright? So, in Guardians of the Galaxy, we know what every character wants, right? The gang wants to save Rocket Raccoon. The High Evolutionary wants Rocket Raccoon because he wants to study his brain. And Will Poulter wants Rocket Raccoon because then he can prove to the High Evolutionary that he is worth something and his entire race should not be wiped out. In Shazam, all we get is, oh, Shazam feels like a fraud because he tells us verbatim.
The leader, but I feel like a fraud.
And he's scared to leave home because he also tells us. And that's pretty much all we get for character development. Also, we know he's dumb.
May point out one of the powers that may be possibly MIA.
Oh. I'm sorry, are you very unsubtly implying that I somehow lack the wisdom of Solo Man?
But then in Guardians of the Galaxy, we get Rocket Raccoon's entire backstory, and let me tell you, I never thought a raccoon would make me cry. It still hasn't, but it got really close. I almost cried. Another thing is like, oh, Drax is dumb, which is, okay, comparable to Shazam, but then Drax has this whole arc of, yeah, he's dumb, but he's got that heart, you know? And he kind of ends up saving the day. And then we also get a little bit of development from Nebula and Mantis, and then from Gamora, they don't do the cheap thing, which is just, oh, she falls back in love with Quill. They don't do that. She's a different person. But Gamora does have a bit of an arc, which is she starts actually caring about the other characters a little bit. Character development in Quill, very much there because he is sad about Gamora. He doesn't want to go back to Earth. But then in the end of the movie, he realizes that he really left some things behind on Earth and he goes back. that almost brought tears to my eyes too. Okay, the third thing that sets them apart is they're both funny, right? Don't get me wrong. But Shazam has a lot of like cheap throwaway lines, gag bits that make it funny, like throwing Skittles at a unicorn or catching a car while holding out for a hero is playing. It's funny, but it's, you know, it's just there. It's not very well thought out. Guardians of the Galaxy is also funny. You know, it has scenes like this one.
Peter, you know this is an open line, right?
What?
We're listening to everything you're saying.
And it is painful.
And you're just telling me now?
We were hoping it would stop on its own.
But I switched it over to private.
What color button did you push?
Blue! For the blue suit!
Oh no.
Blue was the open line for everyone.
Orange is for blue.
Guardians of the Galaxy is also funny, but almost all of the lines and all of the jokes just feel more thought out and more nuanced than the ones in the Shazam movie. Before I get to the fourth and final difference between these two movies, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment something. Final difference is the soundtracks. Guardians of the Galaxy always has an amazing soundtrack because they stick to a specific theme, genre, and time period. Okay, it's that music that Quill was into when he was on Earth. And then in Shazam, it's like, oh, we're gonna listen to Holding Out for a Hero. Like, I've heard that in like every other movie that came out this year, except for Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, because they're heroes? Wow, that's so clever, guys. Now, all in all, Shazam was an entertaining movie, but it really sat on the shoulders of Zachary Levi playing a teenager, which he does really well and he is funny, but that can't hold up an entire movie. Guardians of the Galaxy was well thought out, decently written, and has some solid actors in there. Not to diss on all the actors in Shazam. They were good, they could have used some better writing. So, in this duel between movies, Marvel definitely won, which I think they often do in superhero movies. But hey, back at it again. So anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you watching. I'm really trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, and if you want to help out, that would be sick. Anyways, stay frosty, poozers.